Happy Halloween. So, where I'm filming this November 1st, so technically Halloween was yesterday. With that, I was getting a prompt to make a video talking about Halloween. I mean, I'm always getting a prompt to make videos when I'm making videos. But anyway, so I was getting that signal and that feeling for like the pretty much all of the month of October that they spirit, which I'm one with, we all are, to talk about Halloween, and essentially kind of like basically like the truth behind this, which I know what I end up talking about is stuff that I talk about often, but it's because it's important and this is what the truth of things is. But then also talking about, embracing this and having fun with it. So, and then just some cool stuff that, I've just been kind of experiencing, and an interesting moment in the astral, other simulation, whatever you want to call it, last night, which is interesting that coincided with Halloween because I'm playing with the illusion of linear time and holidays and stuff like that as well. So, sorry, one sec. So, a base kind of place to start is, as I've said a couple times now, time is not linear, right? There technically is no past, there's no future, there's only now. We play with the illusion of linear time. It looks and feels real. We're to embrace where we're at with it. It's just time isn't actually linear. So with that, with Halloween, a lot of people talk about how Halloween and this time of year is when the veil is thinnest, and so we can connect stronger to spirit, our loved ones, whatever. That, again, no wrong, no judgment. Just the truth of this is that's actually a very limited, illusioned ego belief. There is no specific time of the year when the veil is thinnest. That is a limiting illusion belief that we can put aside right now, because time doesn't actually have any effect on us. It can look like it, an illusion from like when, say, for example, aging, infant to elderly or whatever. With that, it's a little bit easier to take how time doesn't affect us with something like this with Halloween and the veil. The veil isn't even actually real. It is oneself utilizing the illusion tools of blocks and resistance. That's all it is. There's no actual physical thing that's blocking any of what's truly here. So there's no specific time of the year where this veil is going to be thinnest. What it is the reason why not what it is, well, yes, what it is, but the reason why it looks like this time of year it's thinnest is because, again, playing with the illusion of linear time, we've been clinging on to a strong illusioned belief that the veil is thin. And because we hold on to said belief, we allow that to play out. Remember, energy plays as we allow it to. So if we go into the veil is thinnest and we can connect at this point, then we have given that opening. It's not that there's all of a sudden an opening and we get to utilize that. We've given that opening. We've been blocking. Halloween hits, open ourselves up, and then we block. All Halloween hits, open ourselves up. So, and what's important about understanding, knowing all of this, and knowing that this is what the truth is because then, again, that starts to melt away that limitation, and you go, oh my gosh, this can happen in any now. And so you continue putting in yourself inner work, because again, everything is coming from within, and it's oneself that allows energy to play. It's oneself that utilizes the illusion tools of blocks and resistance. And you melt those illusion tools away by doing that inner self work, mental cleanup that I talk often about. Fully facing and embracing where you're at. Absolutely, which I'm going to get into in a second with all this. Fully facing, embracing where you're at. Absolutely, you can't push it away, can't resist it. We have to embrace where we're at and enjoy it, which, like I said, I'll get into in a second. So facing, embracing, enjoying where you're at, working on, surrendering, focusing on truth, and doing that inner work, mental cleanup. And as you do that, these things that people experience more so around the time of Halloween starts happening more and more in any now. And again, it's only real if it's loving. If it's not loving, it's not real. Okay, it's a metaphor of one's own shadow, ego illusion that is playing. It's not real. And that's, again, super important to know and understand and understand, because as you let yourself walk through the door, allow the veil, your own made up veil, to melt away. But if you keep your ego on by clinging on to those things like that, that's where we end up playing with the illusions of things like psychosis and the illusion of demons, which are your own metaphors of your, again, ego, illusion, shadow. But you can also, this is why people experience, physical, metaphorical, but it looks physical, demons in front of them, because it's their physical, metaphorical projecting out of what they're clinging to within themselves, that inner, like I said, ego, illusion, shadow. So just that reminder with all of this stuff can happen at any now. And just that really big, important reminder, if it's not loving, it's not real, and it's merely opportunity for you to face really strong. It's a beautiful gift of facing straight up a metaphor of what's within yourself that you're clinging to, that's untruth, so you can work on it, do that mental cleanup like I talk about, and give that away to spirit, source, what you truly are, whatever you want to label it, and it melts it away, which it never existed in the first place. So we don't need to, and again, my videos, everything I post and make are all reminders for myself. So when I say we, I'm including myself. I need to remember this is me. It's just me and God, and I am God. So with that being said, we don't have to limit ourselves by clinging to only certain times, or a certain time of the year is when the veil is the thinnest. It's oneself that allows what's truly here to shine through. And we allow more and more of that to shine through the more we put our self-work in. So with that being said, there is that aspect, though, like I was talking about, embracing, being in joy with it. So what is Halloween? What's one metaphor of what Halloween is? Because we talk about how, like we just said, Halloween is when the veil's thinnest and the dead are able to come back and be around with our loved ones, and all that stuff. Well, death isn't real. No one's actually dead. Everyone's here. It's we're just playing pretend like there's separation. And so what this is just that metaphor of that unity that we always are, the fact that we are all here, and allowing that to shine through. And then even with the costumes, dressing up in costumes, that's what these avatars and everything is in this, is a costume. Even from what the stuff that you look as unsentient, like, like, I don't know, my sweater here, that's this, well, that's clothing. So that's, like this, like, I don't know, I'm trying to find some sort of object in front of me that I can, I don't know, like, I don't know, my hairbrush, like it's that this is a costume as well as energy playing pretend as a hairbrush. Even this whole thing of like, an angel stuff, like angels and archangels, it's all the same thing. It's just costumes pretending that it's something different. And we definitely, there is no side note, there is no difference between archangels and angels. We don't do hierarchy. Absolutely not. Everyone is the exact same thing. Everyone's an angel. So costumes, it's that, again, that metaphor of how energy is just playing pretend, of wearing costumes and playing these characters. And then even in, so a little bit of a funny story. Last night I was hanging out with a friend, and her neighbor came by to hang out with us. So we had known he was coming, and thank God, because it would have scared the poop out of me. He walked up in a Michael Myers costume, and it was dark outside, and we just, oh my, it startled us. But then we were laughing so hard, and some teenagers had come. It was a little bit later, and they had come, and we're walking up the lawn, and we had candy. We were going to give him candy, but he got up and he had his mask on, and he started walking toward them. We were just like, and they just swore and just ran, and then we were like, but we really do have candy, and they're just like, why would you let him do that? And they're like, they didn't get candy from us. They took off running. And it was actually quite funny. Especially the reason why I find it, like, actually, like, I'm really tapping into the humor with this, because I could see, and I can still see, how that also is a metaphor of all of this. We, like, it was really funny, because, technically, you're safe. These kids knew that, like, and he would have never hurt them, and we knew he wasn't gonna hurt them. But it looks and feels scary, and it gives you that pump of fear, and, like, they took off running, and and it's just complete metaphor of, again, what this is. Things look and feel scary, and there's the illusion of attack and the illusion of hurt and pain. But what we truly are, because it was totally like, my friend and I are sitting back watching this, and it was totally just like, I could just see how I'm like, this is like where we're truly at. We're sitting there watching this illusion that's not even actually happening. And we find it hilarious, because while we're in this, it looks and feels so scary. And I mean, we can go off on, I'm not going to start listing things, but there's stuff I could start listing that I struggled to not judge, because I'm like, that's, like, messed up. Like, and I'm using toned down terms right now, so that can be really difficult. That can be a hard pill to swallow. Within this illusion, it can be a hard pill to swallow. Outside of this, though, which is where we're truly at, we're sitting back laughing at the whole thing, because we can see it's not real. And my foot's getting tickled right now. Which is physical confirmation, what I'm talking about. We can see it's not real, and we can see that no one's actually getting hurt, because none of it's real. Unless it's loving, it's not real. So Halloween is amazing metaphors for all of that stuff. And then it's playful, and it's fun, and it's laughter, and it's joy, and it's connection, and it's, like, being child, and being that place of childlike play. And that's where we should try to embrace where we're at, to be at always, into that place of laughter and childlike wonder and awe and play and fun, and just enjoying each other like that. So embrace where we're at with the illusion. Embrace, like, have fun with Halloween. Like, they prompted me to wear this. You can't really see it. This, with the shirt that I'm wearing, is, like, mostly, like, all white. It's just, the angle's not really showing it. They prompted me to wear this. We prompted me to wear this for this video, because why not play around with it, have fun with it, embrace where we're at, just remember what these truths are and work on it. And I mean, even with myself, I play with the illusion that this stuff is a thing as well. Still, I'm aware of it, and I work on it. I do embrace that. I do. And it is interesting, because I've had stuff happen this month where last night, actually. Okay, let me back up. I've been in a pretty strong wave of my shit surfacing for the past month or so, which I know there's several of you, at least, that know that. The past few days, I have been on the other side of that wave. And so I'm getting a bit of a break right now. And this is what always happens when I'm on the other side of these waves. Things get a lot stronger. I have been for the past, particularly the past 48 hours, which is interesting, because, again, it's around Halloween, but it's still happening today. So it's like, we're past Halloween, it's the day after, but it's still, because it's not just limited to this. And again, this is going to keep happening more and more, and it's just going to become permanent, and it's going to keep expanding until, again, what's truly here is what I've allowed myself to be and surround myself, because that's where I always am at, and there's no reason why I can't be and in any now. And that's, it's where we're always at. So I have been seeing, oh my gosh, blurs. Like, just it's so hard to explain. I'm constantly, like, the number of times I'm sitting here and it's like I'm seeing something like moving on the ground, and I look and there's like, I'm like, oh, there's nothing there. But like I'm seeing it, but then I don't see it. And then just like flashes of light, like white light. And then especially especially when I'm like sitting there and I'm like connecting with Eric, Archangel Uriel, spirit, source, whatever, meditating, but like with my eyes open, like just breathing with my eyes open, and just, you know, I meditate, and kind of like I go back and forth between closing my eyes and opening them with like like in a space of like meditating, I do it in different ways. There's oftentimes I do keeping my eyes closed, but I do work on having my eyes open and working with spirit with my eyes open as well. And it has been, it's kind of hard to explain and describe, but I just sitting here, so I'd just be looking in front of me and breathing and trying to focus in on Eric's spirit, whatever. And I'm seeing like a white light fog. Not even, it's not really light and it's not really fog, but it's like a whiteness. It's like not moving like that, but just kind of like just sort of like just let's see, some light, and then like this whiteness, white. And I know it's like I'm seeing these flashes, like it's pieces of spirit, the spirit being, which it's all white and spirit, but like in that whole I'm presenting as this spirit in front of you, like I'm seeing the pieces of it, just not fully formed. And it's so cool. It's been so strong. And then when I woke up this morning, it took me a few minutes. I was like, I had a really interesting moment in the astral. What happened? Which again, this is like the astral as well. And then it's also all connected anyway. And then I remembered when my avatar was asleep in this last night, because I tossed and turned a lot, but I must have fallen asleep at some point. Because I just remember I'm all of a sudden in a room. It's night, not quite sure where I was, but I wasn't like I was lost. Like it was familiar to me, but in this, I don't know whose house it was, where I was. And it was dark, and there was, I was with people, and people started directing people to like, go look outside, go look at, look, you need to see the moon. And so like I start feeling all excited, and I look out the window, and then when I saw what I saw, I made my way outside trying to see it and wanting to take photos and look at it. And the moon was, I want to make I was going to make a painting of this to talk about it. I might end up doing that again and talking about it again, but just to explain better what it looks like, but it doesn't matter. I can, whatever. The moon was, it was like very bright. So like a big full, if you can like picture dark sky, big, full, bright moon that's like glowing, like really beautiful, big, like not like huge, like over ethereal, but it was like a big full moon in the sky that's glowing, like really good. You know those nights, excuse me, those nights where it's like really good, a full, easy to see, like really easy to see, because it's that big, full, glowing moon, like that. But around it, it was like almost like the glow was almost like it was like pulsating out as well. And then there was, so it was like, this is the moon, and then it was like dot 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 going up, and dot 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 like that. And it didn't go on forever. It went out about like that far, and it was like dots, and it was lines. It was like lines. Oops. It was like lines going out from the moon. And it wasn't like the dots weren't touching. Like it started right like maybe about this high up, and then like dot 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 dot, and then and each of the dots were like, it was like red, green, purple, silver, gold, and it was like light. It was like lights, and they were like, and then those lights were like, they were like flashing, not flashing, like blinking in and out, but just the light getting stronger, like doing like pulse of glow of each, like of their own light. It was like the glow would pulse a bit brighter. Um, and and then if I'm visualizing it correctly as well, because this is a little bit fuzzy, but if I'm remembering correctly, the white light from the moon was also like like there'd be a line that would pulse up as well through the dots, and then also along like this like circle pulsings as well, of light coming from the moon. And it was so cool, and just everyone was outside looking at the moon and taking pictures and videotaping. And then they were like, look, and then there's a baby moon, and there was a second moon that was there, and it was smaller, and this one wasn't glowing or pulsing or had lights, but there was a second moon in the sky, and it was small. There was like this one was up here, and this one was like maybe like over here or something. It was, but there was a second moon in the sky. And then the moon that had, which is like the moon with the gems, or like I want to say gems because they almost remind me of like little gemstones. The moon with the like lines of light dots, circles around it, which is like that was our moon. Like we were all like, that's our moon. All of a sudden it started moving and flying around. And we were just like, and then someone was laughing. There's like, the moon was an alien the entire time. And it was just so funny. It was just so funny. And I'm not receiving necessarily that the moon itself is galactic. It's just, there's that level of, so again, I'm getting that like, yeah, very strong, like, that's really interesting. So very strong. I can feel the metaphor of what this is, because right around my feet right now are being like gripped onto, and there's like this very strong, like almost like a pull type feeling, and I can feel like that they're like, give the base reminder of, which is why it's at my feet and it's so strong, and it feels like, because it's the base, give the base reminder that the external, again, is something projected out from within. The external doesn't have power or meaning until oneself gives it as such. And that includes stuff like the moon. Everything is a character that energy is playing, that oneself is allowing energy to play. With that being said, we do honor these roles that it's only one that's playing pretend for itself, but as we're playing pretend as like energy playing for energy, we honor these roles. So with that being said, as we honor that, like as the role of the moon and whatnot, like honoring that, there is that whole, I'm asking for help with my words with this. So with honoring the role of the moon that it's playing, that we are allowing it to play and it's agreeing to play for oneself, we're honoring it and thanking it. And with that it playing this pretend role that we're allowing it to play, there's something to be said that we're allowing it to play in a way that there is something about the moon with galacticness, and then also just that whole ethereal metaphor of like, mother, father, like we look at the moon and the sun, and there's a mother, father kind of feeling with the moon and the sun, and, which again is all metaphorical representation. We're embracing and honoring that. And that was like filtering through with this as well. And then I'm also getting that hit of, this feels really powerful. It's making me want to cry. Not that it's bad, it's just powerful. And it's like, it's also like a little like, I'm kind of like tapping into it in a more ethereal way, and that can feel a little overwhelming because it's so big. Just that whole feeling of how this is so much more, all of this is so much more than what we've allowed ourselves to remember. It's so big, and it's so much that like there's so much in this, and we can do so much, and it's so limitless within love. And like I just keep seeing the moon with the lights flying around, and it's almost like that's small compared to what we can actually allow to play out around us. this place isn't solid at all. It never was. The solidity is such a strong illusion. And that's just it. The linear time gives the illusion of solidity on a certain level. It gives the illusion of solidity with the opposition of loss and separation, right? And so with the solidity, it looks so strongly, especially with certain people, and how in their experiences, how Halloween, the veil is the thinnest during Halloween, spirit so much stronger during this time. But that's such a illusion of solid, there's a solid block between spirit and human. But it's that's just it. It's such a strong illusion of solidity. Time, that solidity in that's what I'm talking about there. That solidity that time gives is not real. It's so much bigger than this. It's so limitless. This is not solid. Not at all. And it's so cool. And it's so, I can't properly express. This is where I'm wishing telepathy was fully online right now in this illusion, because I wish I could just like give you guys, without needing to use words, what I've been experiencing lately when I am in a good head and heart space. And even there are even things I experience when I'm really going through it. It's just more prominent, and I allow myself to accept it and allow it and notice it and acknowledge it and thank it more when I'm in a good head and heart space. I'm working on those muscles with doing as such while I'm going through my waves. I still struggle. So with all that, I do wish I could just give you guys, without needing to speak, what I've been experiencing, because it's so big and it's so beyond and it's so ethereal and it's so cool, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And I really am I really am starting to getting that feeling of I'm really being pulled home, like. And then I start to at times and get these, and I've been feeling it a little bit more again lately, getting that feeling of fear of like it's me dying. Like, not that I actually physically feel like I'm sick and dying. It's just being pulled home. Like, I associate that with dying still, like, even though I know death's not real. And then it gives me that whole feeling of this is not that it's actually wrong and I feel anything wrong and bad is happening, but just, again, my own personal illusion, fear of this is wrong. And if I let myself go home, I'm leaving behind people and they're going to be hurt. And, I start, and I can't, my foot just got tickled, because it's that level of just this, that's a big part of what I'm holding on to for like ego, which is the illusion of separation. And there is nothing wrong. This is stuff I'm working, but that's why we're working through these layers and letting that go. And again, this is why the veil isn't just thinnest during Halloween. We are home now, and we can melt that illusion of not being home now away now. So work on, if you are clinging to these things, there is absolutely opportunity to work on melting those beliefs away, to allow yourself to start unlimiting yourself, and again, reminders for myself, because I do cling to these things too. I can still feel myself. I have the knowing, and it's not that I'm fully clinging on to it like the way I used to, but I know I'm still holding on to it in certain ways and for various reasons. So I'm working on that. But yeah, it's here now. It's all now. In fact, hang on one second. So this is a quote from the Ram Dass book, Remember, Be Here Now. And it just says, what are you doing? Planning for the future? Well, it's all right now. But later? Forget it, baby. That's later. Now is now. Are you going to be here now? Are you going to be here or not? It's as simple as that. Exactly. We are home now. It's all here now. It's not here then, and then, and then, and then, and then, because there is no then and upcoming, and that then, and this then, and future then, and past then. There's only now. So why would the thin be veil? Exactly. Why would the thin be veil? There is no veil to be thin. Right? It's a pretend illusion, tool of blocks and resistance. Why would the veil be thin when there is no future then? There's only now. We're only playing pretend like there's a then. It's all now. You don't need to limit yourself. Even this whole thing of, and again, I feel it too, and I cling to it because there's that whole aspect of, and it is fall, Halloween metaphor of what is death, letting go of the old and allowing the new, rebirth, right? But again, though, you can start letting that go, because why would you want or even need to wait an entire year to let go of what's not real and allow what is real? You don't need to wait day after day for 364, 365 days of the year to allow that. Because, again, it's only now. Again, embrace where you're at. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Play around with it. Don't resist it. Just know what the truth is. And as you're able, do the mental cleanup and let it go. And unlimit yourself. And I'll say it again, as I've said multiple times, reminders for myself. So, all right, there we go. I think that's pretty much everything I was wanting to say. Yeah. All right, well, thanks you guys for everything. I hope you guys all had a good Halloween or whatever, if you celebrated or not. I guess even more so, I just hope you guys have a wonderful now. Seriously though, it's true. I do. Like it's only now. So with the illusion of linear time, if you celebrated Halloween, I do hope that you had fun. When I said whatever, I didn't mean like whatever. I get awkward with words at times, okay? So if you did, in the illusion of linear time, if you did celebrate Halloween or any type of anything surrounding this time of year and, spirit and, connection and rebirth and all of that, I hope that you guys, got what you were looking for from it that benefits you in your highest good, and that you were able to, again, find joy, peace, love, connection, all that stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And I'm always sitting with love with all of you. And as always, have a wonderful now. Oh, and remember, we are all, everyone and everything are all angels. And zooming even further out, we're not even separate souls. There's only you and God, and you are God. There's only me and God, and I am God. All right. I love you guys. As always, have a wonderful now.